Beyond the bottom line, CFO's role in shaping strategy and driving growth. To do so, I request Mr. Pankaj Rathi.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I hope you are feeling energized after the tea and pee break. So, here we start. You can see the person standing there. Considering him as a finance leader, what do you think what he is doing? He is gazing out of the window. So, anyone, what do you think what he is thinking of or what he is doing? Great, great, nice thoughts. But that's what not in my script. Which is like we can say, which is core finance domain. Now he has to venture beyond his role. If he want to do an effective business partnering to support the business strategy and growth. So that's what I think that's what he is doing. So before we hop onto the presentation further, I would like to mention some important fact. So we all know that finance play a very pivotal role in any organization. Why? Because any activity which takes place in the organization, it has to see the face of finance, right? So, and that's why the finance leader naturally they emerges as a they can naturally emerge as a key contender or a primary contender to support business strategy and growth when we compare with the other departments. Because we are seeing each and every activity which is passing through the finance. But the question is when that activity comes to you. Like, is it after the activity done, then it comes to you for the payment? Like, I'm just giving example. Or it is along with the activity, like you are involved in the budgeting and planning. That's happening in every organization. Or before that, whether that activity will be done or not in the strategy, at strategy level. So that's what defines, that is the difference, like that was defined how organization is receptive, what is the environment of the organization which support the finance leader for, beyond the bottom line thing. And not only that, if a finance leader has to do, he has to support the business strategy and growth, he need to definitely, work with the other department. He need to understand the intricacies of other departments' operations. And most importantly, first, he need to put his own house clean. So basically, before going into, the area of strategy and growth, first you need to make sure that your own house is on place, like your core finance and core financing, which is like controllership and compliance, which is totally in place before we move to any additional role. Okay, so moving to the presentation. So I have largely divided this into two factors, which is strategy and growth. So in strategy, strategic planning and vision, financial stewardship and risk management, and strategic partnerships and stakeholder management are the key points. While in growth, driving operational efficiency, growth and expansion, and talent management and leadership are the key points. So in strategic planning and vision, as I think we all know some or other thing, and in every organization, I think things are at different level, maybe in the different process. So we can all correlate with this. So strategic planning and vision in like long-term planning, a finance leader can develop a strategic plan which are aligned with the company's mission and vision statement. So definitely a finance leader would be better able to do that. Scenario analysis, with the help of all the data which is available, a finance leader can, conduct the scenario analysis, which is like there for current things or any future challenges are there or any, opportunity is there in the market. Suppose we want to invest in an asset or we want to build a new product. So definitely, because the finance team and finance leader are good in number crunching, they can definitely, help in scenario planning, whether we need to launch that product, whether we need to buy that asset or not. So definitely our roles are important in that factor as well. And again, in resource allocation, obviously, CFO can ensure the optimal allocation of the resource, which he can see the factor that the risk and rewards are properly balanced. Now in next, financial stewardship and risk management. Obviously, I think capital management is one of the obvious job of the CFO, but like whatever we do in our day-to-day activities, that is mostly like catering to the requirement of the organization on day-to-day basis. But when it comes to strategy level, it has to the capital structure has to be oversee, like whether there is an optimum capital structure is there or not, and according to that only a finance leader has to manage the funding strategies. So it can be like there can be different factors. Sometime what kind of industry you are in, sometime like what is the situation of the company, what are your promoter, and all these things are there. But definitely a finance leader can play a very good role in managing the capital structure effectively. Risk mitigation, definitely financial risk are obviously we are managing, but along with that, operational risk are also, when we go into the strategy part, operational risk are also we need to manage. So that is one more avenue which a finance leader can naturally take care of. Compliance and governance is again that is the core part of finance leader only. But when it comes to strategy, he has to foresee the upcoming event in advance. It's not, again, like we say that normal compliance, we say that okay, we need to file the return and all these regular activities, we need to respond to the notices and all these things. But those are your regular activities. But suppose company is planning to invest in some another country or some region, like they want to invest in some other region or some other state of within India only. So then you have to study the framework. You have to see the compliances thing, what are applicable there, and whether it would be feasible there to do the business or not. So there where a finance leader can help in the strategy. Moving to next, strategic partnerships and stakeholder management. So again, I think many of the things you are already aware of. Investor relations. So definitely a finance leader has to maintain the relations with the investors, and that he has to do when it comes to strategy. Then he has to do it with the communication very effectively, because if he's just reporting the numbers, then I think those are available on the those are available in the Excel sheet or those financials also. But he has to effectively communicate to the investor the strategy of the company, because when investors see that the finance guy, the finance leader has a complete control on the operations as well, then it will boost his confidence as well, right? Now, partnership development. Definitely, when finance leader comes into the strategy level, he has to forge a strategic alliance with the partners to enhance the market position. He need to work with different stakeholders, whether it is coming from like vendor side or different side. He has to play his role. So definitely he can be involved there. Again, in stakeholder engagement, so a finance leader has to align the interest of the internal stakeholder as well as the external stakeholder, which further will drive collaboration to the overall success of the business. And last but not the least, sustainable value creation. So a finance leader also need to ensure, because nowadays we learn, we hear a lot about sustainability and all these things. So he obviously CSR is already there, but that is more for compliance purpose. But a finance leader has to ensure that he balance the financial performance with the long-term value creation for all the stakeholders within the organization, outside the organization, and society at larger as well. Now for growth, the first point is like driving operational efficiency. So first thing is process optimization. So obviously, like I think that many of the organizations are already doing it at different level. So finance leader has to ensure that he streamline all the financial process, and he implement the best practices. So for that, what he need to do? How, like within the organization, he cannot take any best strategy or best practice from the other department. So he need to look around. He need to look at the competitor. He need to look at industry. He need to look around for other industries as well, because when we see finance is like there are some common things which we do along with which is there in every every business or industry, but there are some unique things which are unique to the business only. Now in performance metrics, definitely finance leader has to establish the KPIs, key performance indicator, to track the operational performance. But when we talk about KPIs, like KPIs, financial KPIs, we all we all see, because that is also mentioned in the audited financial statement also. But when we talk about the KPI for operational performance, then there is a major role of non-financial KPIs. So a finance leader, not only he need to invent KPIs which is unique to the business. I'm saying there are industry KPIs are also there, but he need to see the business. But because the processes are different in every business, okay. So he need to ensure that he innovate. I would say innovate, because he has to create those relevant KPIs which matters more for the management. It's not like that just for the sake of making KPIs he is making. So the KPIs should support the decision for the management. It support, and ultimately it supports the growth of the organization. And technology integration. So obviously, like now a lot of data is there. So a finance leader need to ensure that along with financial data and non-financial data, he create a sufficient data analytics environment which can support the decision making effectively. Now, in further growth and expansion, so merger and acquisitions are there. So that is definitely the extended role of any finance leader. So now naturally, I think nowadays finance leader are leading the M&A activities. When like it is the management which decides that whether the merger and acquisition will take place or not. But the second point is definitely the finance leader. But I think the finance leader can be involved in the initiating stage itself, where to support the growth, whether it should be organic growth or inorganic growth. So I think finance leader can suggest to the management and present his case for the proposed merger and acquisitions. At the same time, he can, because when he need to present the case, definitely he need to he need to study the market, he need to study, all of these things. It is a very, larger area, and he need to identify the target, he need to provide some options to the management. And definitely due diligence is the core part which he need to perform when M&A is finalized. So second thing is market expansion. So now again, market expansion, one would be thinking like, what is the role of finance leader in market expansions? So anyone, like what could be the role of finance leader in market expansion as such? Anyone? Yeah.
So as a finance leader, he can be at a very good position to identify if there are any entry barriers in that market, challenges with respect to compliances, the competitor analysis. So these are the areas where the finance leader I see is suited to play that sort of an advisory.
Right. Rightly said. Definitely, a finance leader can, because now when we even in our curriculums and studies also, these things are included. We can do a SWOT analysis, and we can definitely contribute to the company for the market expansion through like multiple channels and multiple sources of information, as well as when the finance leader, as I told, in any activity finance is involved. So definitely, and the core area, which is your compliances, which is, finance leader supposed to be the champion. So definitely with all these, all these factors, a finance leader come with a, complete package. The only thing is like where he need to sharpen. He need to sharpen his presentation skills, and where he can present a strong business case for the expansion and for the potential growth. So this is the role of finance leader in market expansion. Again, in innovation investment, again, this is not the, not even the core area of the finance leader, but yes, he has to again go to the industry. He has to see the market trend. He has to foresee, where it is going. There are some industry where I believe, like when we talk about pharmaceuticals, so maybe there it is very difficult for a finance leader to, for R&D and all these things. But there are many other industries, and where a finance leader can suggest, R&D, whether to invest in R&D, like tech company also as well. There are tech companies, which involves in creating, suppose, ERP. Definitely, finance leader will play a major role, and with any other thing as well, because, and then he can drive the product development itself, because obviously the cost benefit analysis will definitely be provided by the finance leader, readily available. That is readily available, but you need to present a strong case to the management whether they would invest in the R&D or not. And the last but not the least, the talent management and leadership. So talent management is important for any any department per se, but when it comes to the larger level role, so there it becomes much more important for a finance leader as well. So first is team development. So definitely a finance leader need to develop a strong team, which is highly skilled. If required, they need to provide them trainings, and they need to associate them with the relevant organization where they can sharpen their skills. And they also at the same time, because he need to create the second line as well, so he need to develop those opportunities for the finance people, because it is not only about the finance leader itself. One cannot do anything. So largely, he has to develop a team which is also understanding all the business things. So nowadays we see that there is a business finance team or FP&A team which is there, but I think, personally think that a finance leader should take into account all the all the like within the finance team, all the department, he need to consider all of these things. Well, nowadays, if we say accounting, core accounting is just like somewhere it is already outsourced, like GCCs are there. So what is the what is the role of that person who is doing? He would be redundant after some time if either that activity is completely outsourced or it is further taken over by some kind of AI. So definitely for him also to create the next level role, it has to be he need to learn those skills. He need to work with the different departments, because generally we see that like these typical departments like APAR, until unless it is required, they work with in silos only. And nowadays, like when document comes automatically, vendor is uploading the document, the invoice, and the payment is happening. There is no involvement of there is no interaction with the other department until unless some some challenge is there, some issue is there. And on a lighter note, I think other departments definitely would not want to meet the finance team until unless it is it is a question of payment. So there, finance leader need to develop his team for the future role. Again, leadership collaboration, like these events. So he need to collaborate, with C-suite executives, or he need to work on cross-functional trainings and initiatives, which, like ultimately, it is all about the organization goals. So definitely, once they interact in cross-functional activities, then only they can achieve the organizational goal. And last is culture building. So obviously, when it comes to the larger level role, basically it is not defined in black and white what is your role, because when we see the processes, like you are in AP, you are responsible for AP, you are in AR, you are responsible for AR. So a finance leader need to, obviously those qualities should be there in himself, as well as he need to develop these qualities in his team as well, where he need to promote that people take accountability for the action. Innovation should be encouraged, and continuous improvement should be seen. It should not be like that we are doing the mundane activity and we are not focusing on process improvement. So that should be encouraged. And because in finance team also you see that generally what is seen that these things you need to do any which ways. Okay, so volume may be more or less, but then people see, okay, we are sitting late nights in month closing activities and all these things. So like what should we do? So their contribution is not acknowledged in those things. So basically the core area need to be worked where improvement can be done, and accordingly in the involvement of finance team in these strategic activities can show the true picture of finance teams and leaders, that they are also able to contribute with their high performance. So that's about it, and thank you everyone. Any questions?
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Sure. So culture building means, as I'll take it up again. So basically, as I told you, there are within the finance team we see that largely the core finance areas are process driven mostly. Like it is clearly in black and white. So when we go for the strategic roles and growth things, then definitely the accountability portion should be there. So because you are taking some new initiative, the information is not available completely, right? You are suggesting something, right? As in previous slide, like you are suggesting some new product or some merger and acquisition or something like that, something new which is out of your core area. So definitely you have to build that culture that the accountability should be taken. It is not like that I propose something and I am not responsible for the result. Then innovation and continuous improvement, as I said, why innovation doesn't happen in even I have seen that new employees come, old employees go, they take the handover. So whatever Excel sheets and whatever document is there, they will follow that same even after 5 years, 10 years, the same thing is followed. So because of our job is like not very much interesting. Because of that, I think we continue to do the same activity. So we need to introspect what improvements can be done. Because regular activities can be through the help of AI and other things. Those can be there we can do the automation, and that the time which is saved there we can utilize for the strategic things. So these are the things. Thanks.